Hello my hair warriors, it's me, your friendly neighborhood hairdresser, Aaron O'Brien. And today's video is sponsored by Lordhair.com. What are we talking about? We're talking about repairs. Yes, how to repair your hair system when you are in a mess and you've worn it, you've taken it off, it's torn. I can't wait to show you. I have everything we need to get started here. So let's go. So you had a crazy night out. Who knows what happened to you, but you tore your hair system and you feel like you're in an absolute mess. So this usually happens when you've worn your system about 5 million times because you don't want to buy a new one straight away. So you're saving it for as long as you can. And that's why I always recommend try buy your hair system sooner. But this could happen when you remove it, that you can get a bit of a tear. This happens usually on thin skin systems, the really fine ones, and you have to be more delicate. In this case, yeah, this was just ripped apart, and so we are going to repair today. So what we need is our little dome that we get from Lordhair.com, and we are going to place it on the surgery table. Yes, we are about to perform hair system surgery. All right, so we place it on top of the dome like this. You're going to need some tape. I like this bond, it's really good to use. And then we have our little rounded one. I think this is the CC from what I remember, rounded tape. You can use tape on its own to repair a system if you would like, but as the glue starts to deteriorate and melt, it can start to seep through the crack and get through the hair. But this will get you in a bind if you really need to get it done quickly. And then I'm gonna show you a few other ways. So you're gonna take your rounded part, we'll take this off and stick that tape. Don't you hate when we get these pieces of paper everywhere and our whole bathroom is full of them? It's a messy job. So you're gonna take your tape that's rounded, because we wanna make sure that we can hit the edges here. You're gonna close the tape over as neatly and as tidy as possible. I like to connect on one side first. Join the tape together, or join the system together as close as possible. You can see that we're closing up this little crack here and then round it off. Okay, crisis averted. All right, so you want to just press down, make sure that you spread it out, and then you can start to remove this piece of tape. Oh, there she goes. She's mended. Now for extra security, because we all need some extra security when it comes to the hair system. So you're gonna take this, you're just gonna cut a very small section, because this one needs a little bit of a band-aid as well. So we're gonna remove, and then we are gonna place down just on that little crack there. I feel like I'm a surgeon. And then we're gonna remove. There she is. Fully repaired. So this is a great way. The only thing I will say is that with the tear, that without placing anything beneath the glue, it can start to seep through after about maybe a week and a half. So you will have to change your system out. But you know what? Let me show you another way. Again, we are gonna need tape again. We're gonna need the rounded tape. Take it out of my little pack. And this is the no shine tape as well. So this is a little bit more realistic around the edges. So if you get a tear in the hairline, make sure that you use the no shine. Always better to use that so it looks a little bit more realistic. All right, so what we need for this is, again, tapes that we had before. And yes, cling film. This is the perfect way to cover up, and it'll also keep the split together a little bit more. So you're just going to cut a small piece of your... You want to take a small piece of cling film and you are going to measure it out and then place it over the crack. All right, so we need to take off just the ends here. So you only use exactly what you need. Don't use any more, and keep it as fine as possible. We are going to place this to the side. Our cling film can wait just for a moment. Then we are going to lay down the tape just at the edge, leaving a little bit of room just on the corner for our cling film. You're going to place the cling film onto the tape. Then pull the edges together, place down the tape. Yes! We did it. Okay, so what this will do, in theory, is it'll stop the glue seeping through the crack onto the rest of the hair, which is what we definitely don't want to happen. Alright, then we are going to peel our tape off. The cling film will be underneath, and then we're going to place one more piece of tape. Ah! There's tape everywhere. Okay, so you're going to cut the tape, and you are going to place over, and then again over the cling film. Now if there's any excess cling film, you can just cut around the edges just to remove, and anything that's overlapping on top, just to remove as well. Make sure it's all placed down nicely. Voila, that is our second repair. Repair number 3, here we go. Okay, so what do we need? We need our scissors. We need an old hair system or a new hair system where we have to take the edges off. Today I'm going to use mesh, or you can use the edge of, hello. Or you can use the edge of a thin skin system. Today I'm going to use lace because that's what I have on hand. So we are going to cut the lace edge. Okay, so this is off the frontal system, and you just need enough to cover the crack. Okay, so we have a nice little bit of lace here, and that is going to go on the crack of the system. Which camera am I looking at? I feel like I have two heads. So we're going to place this down the center. So what I tend to do is I will get a piece of tape. Look at my mess. You should see my bathroom when I'm doing this. Okay, so we're going to cut a piece of tape, and then we're going to just unravel this. Now, this is a tricky one. We want to make sure that we place the piece of mesh or tape, or piece of mesh or thin skin onto the tape directly, because it's difficult to kind of take apart and do. You're going to join your tear, either edge of the tear, and then you are going to place the mesh down the center of the system. This piece of tape will secure. Then you're going to take a piece of rounded tape, and again, this will stop the glue from seeping through as much. If you use thin skin or if you use like the mesh, they both work just as well. Obviously a little bit will seep more through the mesh, but if you use the thin skin, it's even better. So we just want to place these together, and then we round it off. Perfection. Okay, so this is mended. Voila. Voila. And then we're going to remove our final piece of tape here. This actually happened to me when I was going to an event, and I was freaking out. I was like, what am I going to do? Okay, so you get the gist that you put the mesh on the crack, then you cover it up with tape. That will stop it seeping through as much. Your hair will feel fabulous and a little bit more secure. Okay, that's the 3 ways to do it. I have to clean up this absolute horrid mess, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my next videos at Lordhair. And again, thank you to my sponsor, Lordhair.com. I'll see you all soon. Bye.